Gastala-Tamayo, currently a teacher at Leonora National High School. This time, I am going to present to you the results of my study, which is titled Differentiated Instruction and the English Language Performance of Grade 9 Students. So in the Philippine classroom setting nowadays, uniformity rather than attending to diversity dominates the culture of many contemporary classrooms. That's according to Guild in 2001. Well, according to Levine in 2003, traditional methods or conventional teaching, so this term was used in my study, conventional teaching, is often used by teachers with the aim to remedy the deficits. While Levy in 2008 defined differentiated instruction to help teachers meet the children where they are when they enter the class and move them forward as far as possible in their educational path. In the Department of Education also encourages teachers to do differentiated instruction. That is actually stated in Article 33 of the Deped Order number 42, series of 2016. So with differentiation, it is somewhat synonymous with the term flexibility, which was defined by Levy in 2008 as a process of instruction which provides a way for content to reflect the needs of students. According to Levy, students do not learn the same way, so we cannot teach them all the same way. So thus, this study aimed to find out the effect of differentiated instruction as an approach to language change. So specifically, this study aimed to answer the following questions. First, what is the students' English language performance before they were exposed to differentiated instruction and conventional teaching? Second, what is the students' English language performance after they were exposed to differentiated instruction and conventional teaching? Third, what is the mean gain score of the students exposed to differentiated instruction when grouped according to level of competence, which serve as the basis of differentiation? Fourth, is there a significant difference in the mean gain score of the students exposed to differentiated instruction? Fifth, is there a significant difference in the language performance before and after exposure to A, differentiated instruction, and B, conventional teaching? Is there a significant difference in the English language performance of the students exposed to differentiated instruction and conventional teaching? As for the methodology of the study, this is actually a quasi-experimental research design which used the pretest and posttest comparison group design. For my participants, I did use the grade 9 students in one of the public secondary schools in the 2nd district in the province of Iloilo. So there were actually 2 sections with 35 heterogeneous students. Before the start of the intervention, I did actually a toss point. Which section will be exposed to differentiated instruction and which section will be exposed to conventional teaching? For the experimental group this time, this group is actually divided into 3 groups as identified based on the results of the competence test. So there were the low group, the average group, and the high group. So each group was then provided with differentiated content, differentiated instruction, and differentiated assessment appropriate to their level of competence using a validated lesson plan for 6 weeks. While the control group also had 35 students, but the whole class was exposed to conventional teaching, the same content, the same instruction, and the same assessment. For the instruments of my study, I did use first the competence test, which is to determine the student's competence level. So both sections, the control and the experimental group, took the competence test. This was also the basis of their groupings. And the pre-test and the post-test was given to both the control and the experimental group. So this test was developed specifically for the study. So the test was prepared with a table of specification, of course. Now, for the results and discussion for our statement of the problem 1, we have here a table which shows the pre-test scores of grade 9 students exposed to differentiated instruction and conventional teaching. So data showed that the pre-test scores of English here are 26.23 and 26.43, and both are described as low. So we can actually say that before the intervention, students were somehow heterogeneous in their pre-test scores in English. While Table 2 shows here the mean score of participants of two groups in the post-test. So here we can see that the mean scores in the post-test are 37.54 and 35 respectively. So the results show that there is an increase in the mean score of the students after exposure to both interventions. While Table 3 shows the pre-test and the post-test scores of students exposed to differentiated instruction. So the high group got a post-test of 37 here from 30. The average group got 37.84 from 25.68 in the pre-test, while the low group got the 36.67 from 26 in the pre-test. Now, for Table 4, this shows now the results in the mean difference was found to be not significant. So we have here P is equal to 0.368. So the result means that there is no significant difference in the mean gain score of students exposed to DI when grouped according to competence level. Well, Table 5A here shows the mean difference, which is found to be significant. P is equal to 0.000. The result means that there is a significant difference in the post-test scores of students exposed in the differentiated instruction. While Table 5B shows now the English language performance of grade 9 students before and after exposure to conventional teaching. So the result here shows that there is significance. We have here P is equal to 0.000. So the result means that there is a significant difference in the pre-test and post-test scores of students exposed to conventional teaching. While Table 6 here shows the results or the mean difference, which is found to be significant. So we have here P is equal to 0.042. So the result means that there is a significant difference in the post-test scores of the two groups. So for the conclusion of the study, since differentiated instruction seemed to have helped the students perform better and excel in class. So, second conclusion is, the students in the control group or the students exposed to conventional teaching got a low mean score during the pre-test. However, they gained a high mean score after the exposure to conventional teaching. So we could therefore conclude that conventional teaching or one-size-fits-all instruction is still undeniably an effective teaching strategy. And lastly, based on the results of the analysis, a difference existed in the English performance of students when taught using differentiated instruction and conventional teaching. So based on this analysis, we can therefore conclude that students exposed to differentiated instruction performed better than those exposed in the conventional teaching. So ladies and gentlemen, so that is the results of my study on differentiated instruction and its impact to language learning of the students. Here are the references of my study. So thank you all so much for watching. God bless us all.